Hello everyone and welcome. How are you today? It is Sunday, January 26th, 2020, and I'm coming to you today with a message. I pulled some cards. The first oracle card was from the Starseed Oracle deck, which is the new deck by Rebecca Campbell. And what came out I thought was really significant. And it says, "You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness and face your true north." And this feels very Aquarian. And I think a lot of you would agree, those of you who are familiar with astrology, very Uranian in nature. And you can even see in this card, this woman is standing on a ledge of, I don't know if it's a ship or part of a planet or an asteroid. Anyway, she's overlooking this very large planet that has rings, and the rings are blue. So to me, this felt very Uranian, and also just the word, embracing your weirdness, that phrase, and facing your true north feels perfect for the season that we're in right now, which is Aquarius season. And this card and this message speaks to exactly what it says, sort of like being okay with not being fully understood or embraced by every single person in your life or every person that you come into contact with. It's about embracing your unique and individual energetic imprint and blueprint, your soul, the energy that you came in to this incarnation with, and that when you embrace that, when you stop trying to fit in everywhere or in places where maybe you simply won't fit into, when you're able to accept that and surrender to that, you essentially will be facing your true north. And that's what she's doing. She is raising her arms out into this vastness of space to say, this is me, this is who I am, and being receptive to the energies that get that resonate with that see and feel and like that energy, so to speak. And this can be anything from whether this feels like a relationship message to me, especially with the surrounding cards that came out, but especially with this card. So whether that is your friendships, your family relationships, relationships with colleagues and coworkers, relationships and intimate partnerships, whatever that may look like for you, I think the message is very clear that it is time to step into your own authentic power and embrace who you are. If you feel different, be different. If you feel that you're not being supported when you are authentic, then you are allowed to turn away from those things or people or situations and look towards your true north. What is your true north? That is, in a sense, it is your fate. It is the purpose that you came here in this lifetime to achieve, to move towards. That's the true north. So that's where this lovely Seeker of Cups came into the picture. And this is, I used the Weaver Tarot by Threads of Fate. And this is a really cool sort of holographic deck, if you can see. Anyway, that's where the Seeker of Cups comes in. And the Seeker is just a page, right? So it's a really young energy. It's innocent and pure. It's an energy that is inspired and creative. It's a raw energy. It's sort of formless and shapeless. And it is all about the heart's desire, the true north, the things that move move and inspire and awaken our everything, the things that awaken us to living, to feeling. So the Seeker of Cups is an energy that can be very misunderstood, because a lot of people don't get that, right? It's like, wait a second, but you have a responsibility towards this and that and the other thing, and you're off just like running around chasing after your dreams. And so that can be something that is often frowned upon in the structure of society that we live in. And I think that so many of us are really, like, again, opening our energy, opening our hands to receiving inspiration, to receive like you see a wishbone here. It's like our greatest wish. That's illuminated, that's blessed, right? By the sun, by source, by our highest self. The reason why we were brought here is to sort of remember that inspiration, remember that we are creative beings, that we are here to co-create with other people, with spirit, whatever that kind of looks like for you. So I love that the Seeker of Cups came in, because it really is validating to face your true north, wherever that is for you. So yeah, I mean, the North Star, before we had, technology, and our explorers were out, going to search other lands and travel via the waterways, the North Star was their guide. So I think that's where the true north came from. And the next card that came out was the High Sage, or the High Priestess. So very interesting that these two energies came out together, the High Sage and the Seeker of Cups, because they're quite different energies, yet they do have a common theme. The High Sage is the High Priestess. That's number 2 in the major arcana, and she is the most intuitive card in the deck. She is completely connected to the etheric realm, and where all wisdom and all ancient knowledge and all future knowledge is all contained. So she is all-knowing. She's all-knowing, and that's where the eye comes in. And she knows how to move through the cycles of nature. And it is a more passive energy. So whereas this is a more creative and inspired energy that will seek, this energy of the High Sage is more passive, where she sort of allows. It's more receptive. She is kind of doing the inner work, and she knows, but she doesn't necessarily tell you what she knows, and she doesn't necessarily act upon what she knows. But at the same time, I always feel like with the High Sage, she is able to create from that space if she wants to. And that's where I think this card, getting back to you're not for everyone, and embracing your weirdness or your uniqueness, your unique energetic blueprint that you incarnated with, embracing that, maybe that requires some going within, coupled with this younger energy of creation, inspiration, love. It's all coming from love. And in this card, And in life, when we are aligned in our own vibration, when we are coming from an authentic place, which is very hard to do all the time, we have to some degree, wear different hats, if you will, or you could call them masks, depending on what types of situations we are in. So this is more of an overall theme. If you are feeling stifled, like you cannot be yourself, or you are trying to dim your light in order to fit in to a group, to a situation within your family, within your work environment, within friendships and groups of people, and even within your relationship, if you are, this is speaking to, it's okay to turn your back to that. Maybe, not right away. Maybe it's more of a plan of action. And maybe that's where the High Priestess comes in. The planning of it, in a sense where she's pulling information from her highest self, from the universe, as to what her destiny looks like, what she was fated to do when she came here. And so this really does speak to movement and relaxing and surrendering so that we are surrounded by people who get us, so that our relationships are more fulfilling, so that we can truly be who we are without any pretense, without any pretending, without any dimming of our own light, without giving up our power. Because that was another message I got from this, was without giving up our power. The Seeker of Cups may be young, but this seeker is in its power because it's such a simple energy. Like I said, it's raw and formless. The High Priestess is always fully in her power, the High Sage. These two are not giving up their power to anything or anyone, for anything. And that's what this card is speaking to, really staying in your power by embracing who you really are. And it's interesting too, because at the bottom of the deck was the Anchor. So let me just flip this over real quickly, and you can see at the bottom of the deck is the Anchor. This is the Emperor. And who is the Emperor? I mean, he's number 4 in the Major Arcana, and he's the sort of counterpart to the Empress. So it is a very earthly energy, right? And he's fully in his power. Like, he is the King of Kings, the Emperor. He's in control. He has mastery over his domain. He, you can see, like, he's using the sky, so information from the cosmos, and anchored into his mind, and that's how he rules. And so this, being an underlying energy, again, does speak to that more masculine energy of action, of rulership, and of having mastery over our own domain, being fully in our power. So yeah, I thought that this was really interesting, again, coming up for Aquarius season. And not just that, but like, we've been in all of this Capricorn energy and the Pluto-Saturn conjunction in Capricorn that just came up. I think it really unraveled a lot of things in our lives, internally within us. A lot came up after the eclipse portals that we went through, eclipse gateways, I should say, and the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. We're in Aquarius season, and we're like, okay, who am I now? And who was I before? And who am I now? And how has that changed? And how am I no longer willing to settle? How am I no longer willing to compromise what I know to be true about who I am, about the life that I want to cultivate? So, and again, Aquarius being so forward thinking, so futuristic. It's like, well, what energies are we moving into in this next decade? What is that all going to look like? And what isn't serving me anymore? What am I allowed to turn my back on? What am I allowing myself to let go of once and for all? Every time we sell ourselves short in some way, shape, or form, every time we compromise what we really know to be good for us, every time we do that, we are sending a signal out to the universe that somehow we're not worthy or good enough to receive what we know we deserve, or what we know that we came here to experience. So this energy is really about saying, like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't have to do that anymore. Okay, so then the next card that came out, I just wanted to do a sort of like an advice card, and that is star bathing. And I thought that was really beautiful. I had never really thought about that. We sunbathe, and sometimes we will sun gaze, and sometimes we will sit under the light of the moon, and definitely sit underneath the stars, but this is more with intention. And so it does talk about activating the light body and connecting with the crystalline grid, the crystalline core of Gaia that has been activated, that is here, and allowing these energies to support our journey, to support this phase that we are in currently, this ascension energy, this physical body ascension that many of us are going through, and that everyone will go through eventually in their own time. This is about activation. And I think that in Aquarius season, this is a really good time to utilize this sort of form of healing, energy work, meditation. This is a great time to utilize this. And so if you are able to, whether you are, if it's very cold where you are and it's too cold to go out at night and do some star bathing, or maybe you live in a densely populated area where you don't get to see a lot of stars, even just laying in bed, or you know, in a safe space where you can envision this, the cosmic energies and the light codes of all of the stars in your sky, and envision them activating your light body, embodying, being able to embody your higher self, and really upgrading your DNA and your cellular structure within your body, and connecting into the crystalline core of Gaia, the crystal grid that is up and running as a 5D template for Earth and for all of her inhabitants, and you are one of them. And this is the Starseed Oracle. And many of you, most of you, maybe all of you, especially if you're watching this, you are a starseed, and you came here to Earth, incarnated in this lifetime, to raise your own vibration and expand your own consciousness, and also to be one of the people who helps to raise the vibration of the Earth and of all others around you. And that's why facing your true north is so important, That's why it is so important, because you're on a mission. Starseeds, Lightworkers, Way Showers, Galactics, Angelics, all of us are here to embody the energies that are coming in, that are available, and help anchor them into the physical, so that we can lead the way and we can help other people as well. And yeah, I thought that was really beautiful. But the message is super Aquarian, and I really love it. So I hope that that resonated for some of you. And if you have any insight, I would love to know. I wish you all a very blessed Sunday, or whenever you're seeing this. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.